Hello everyone. So I've come on this morning to do some slow stitch. I did say I might come on yesterday to do something, but yeah, I just didn't get the opportunity. So I'm on today to do slow stitch. I like to do it on a Tuesday before the Wednesday so that I can plan for the Wednesday. And also it just chills me out a little bit doing this. So on my way into my craft room, I've dropped my precious needle. I don't know why I only have one of those. I mean, I might have another one hanging around somewhere, but I don't know where it is. It's a thin needle that I use all the time, and it's fallen out of wherever it was in this. But never mind, I'll find it, I'm sure. So this the last time you saw this, I was just working. It was a blank, you know, it was, you saw the majority of it was this bit, which is the original cloth on the top of the project, on the top of the quilt. So it had these little red rosebuds on, but if you recall, if you did see it, it was just a massive the wadding coming through, the threads of the cloth had just, you know, was falling apart. So it was pretty in really damaged and bad condition. You can see a little bit of what I'm talking about there. So this is the area that I think I might have begun with, and it's just really raggedy. And yeah, so I worked on it. I you know, sort of did some slow stitching across it, and then I did other bits to it, and then I started adding pieces of cloth and doing some slow stitch. So I added some slow stitch here where it was damaged, and yeah, I think, I can't remember if you've seen any of this. I don't think you have. So yeah, so I added hand dyed cloth here and here and there and here, and then a little bit there, and then these are part of the back. So there were bits that were left over from, you know, sort of cutting the quilt up, and these bits were, I mean, it's mostly still intact. There's only a few pieces out of it, but the rest of it, you know, needs some work as well. So yeah, it was in really bad condition. It's very, very old, and it was my own quilt for over 40 years, so had special meaning to me, but I just couldn't leave it like that, and there was no way that you could well, let's say there's no way I could fix it as a large piece, but as a small piece, in smaller pieces, I think it, you know, it honours the quilt, and it's as a different form, put it that way, and I can use it in this respect, whereas it was just sitting in a box, a blanket box, you know, not doing anything for so long. So yes, so this is my way of giving it new life. And there are parts of it that are in good condition. I show in my last video, slow stitch video, I did show you a piece that was in excellent condition. But yeah, if you are new and you want to see that, you might want to go and have a look. I don't know if I've got it handily available for me to show you, but let me see. No, I haven't. But there are other pieces on the quilt that are, you know, that I can use in the future for other projects. So, as you can see, I've been doing some slow stitch. Some of it is decorative, and some of it, this here was decorative, but it was also to try and pull in a badly damaged area. And other pieces, like the little pieces, like this, and these two, were really to try and get control of, see the stitching's coming through, so I'm going to have to put something there. They're not the stitching, the wadding is coming through there. Or is it? Yes, it is. There's still threadbare patch of cloth for the original cloth, but yeah. So anyway, I've rabbited on. So I hope you're all doing well. And yeah, I'm going to do some stitching, so you're welcome to join in and do some with me. I'm trying to decide what to put on next, because I don't want to cover more of you know, the bits that of the original bits. I mean, I know I've pretty much covered it, but it had to be done. I mean, there were just holes everywhere and they would have just kept going, but at least you can see patches of the original bits here and there. So so as I say, I've done some slow stitch here and here. I've done some writing stitch here. This is a quote by the book Charlotte Bronte, in the book Charlotte Bronte, "I am no bird and no net ensnares me." It's one of my favourite quotes by Charlotte Bronte, or sorry, yeah, Charlotte Bronte, who wrote Jane Eyre. Did I say Emily? I always get, well, I don't always get those two mixed up, but I am lately. And I did a lovely blue circle here and some blue stitching there and here, and did lots of different crossed over stitches and things. So anyway, I'm really happy with it so far. It's really worked in terms of strengthening it. It feels much more robust now, and I could do a lot more with it. So I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I haven't decided. So that could be a nice journal cover. Either way, it looks good. And there is no right or wrong side at the moment in terms of this bit. So I could have it, as I say, like this, or like that, or like that. You know, I could have it any which way I wanted. So, but, you know, at some point, I guess, it's going to become a particular way. And this might be the moment. So I've got a bunch of scraps here that I'm going to put on. I'm thinking of putting on, that's pretty. These are some little clusters that I've made previously. There was one that I particularly like. Let's see if I can find it. So I've got a number of them here, but I don't want to use that one. And I won't be using that one. I love this one. There's card and paper stitched in. I might stitch some paper in here. I think I might use this one and maybe I will use this one and maybe this one. But for now I'm going to put this one on. So now that might be worth doing there. This is again tea dyed cloth. Last part of it is that bit. And that's rust dyed cloth underneath there. So should I do that? And at least you can see bits of everything there. That would be quite nice actually. Maybe turn it the other way. Or the other bit was down here. And again, you can see a bit of everything. So I'm tempted by either, but we could have both. That feels a bit too much for me, but I've got lots of bits of cloth here that I could use as well. So I've got some cheesecloth or muslin. I think it's, yeah, that probably won't be. I've got this little piece here. That's a bit different. I've got a little bit of slow stitch on a panel. That might work. That might be quite nice there. It's by coincidence that it's the same colour, you know, the thread. So that could work there, and that might be nice here. So let me start with this one, and we'll make a start. So I'm going to bring you down closer because you might not be able to see, and you won't see the full piece, but you'll see where I'm working on. I think it's better that way. Right, I've already been on 9 minutes gabbing away, so I'm going to have to move you a little bit. There we go. Okay, right, so let me see which needle to use because my best needle is gone. Well, this one's already threaded, so how about this one? And I will stick with this. So this is this thread here, which is crochet cotton, I believe. So I'm going to, maybe I'll do the, is it the whip stitch? Is that what it's called? Just go around it. never keen on the whip stitch, if I'm honest, but I'll maybe try it. Or I could just go around it like this. So this is going through okay. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go around in my usual fashion. So I will, let me just bring this up so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, there, I'll do this. So I will go this way. I don't think it's likely I could do running stitch, but we'll see. So anyway, as I say, I hope you're doing well. And I hope you enjoyed seeing the new journal. I have made to make some changes yesterday, because I did work a little bit on it yesterday, or whenever. Oh, was it yesterday or Sunday? I can't remember. And what I've had to do is the spine wasn't thick enough for the pages, so I've had to cut the two parts of the the journal into two, so the cover rather, into two, and I'm going to create a new spine. So that's the plan, and I've been doing more work inside. I was hoping to get it finished this week, so I think it's going to be for sale. I think it is, because I wanted to offer more of the things that I'm making to other people. So I think it's going to be for sale. So if you're interested, let me know. I am using lots of bits of vintage and antique cloth and lace inside. What else? I've done a few more pockets and just generally sort of working in it, trying to come up with different ideas, because I do have, quite often I have my style, if you like, and I don't know about you, but I didn't realize I had a style until recently. And then I've done lots of different types of journals. Types is one thing, but there's a certain style that each of us has with our own work, and I definitely have a style when I look back, and if I try and do somebody else's style, I end up not doing very well, put it that way. So yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't realised quite how much, but I think one of the things I want to do is push myself more to do different things. I don't want to do the same things over and over again. So I think for me, I'm going to try and push myself to do different things in my journals, maybe learn some new techniques to go in my journals, and offer more, maybe, I don't know, just different techniques, I suppose. I'm not one for loads of different flip out pockets here and there and everywhere. I did in the beginning when I first started, I did do a couple of those and I enjoyed them, don't get me wrong, but when I look back at the ones that I've done more sort of in the last year, I noticed that there's not so much of that, so there must be a reason for that. Right, I think I'm going to have to stop here with this bit of thread. I don't want to push it and end up. At least I used it all, because sometimes these things get, lost and they're not used up. So yeah, right, a bit more. Anyway, I mean, I've never not all of the ones, the journals that I've made. Why could I not remember that word? All of the journals that I've made have sold in the past. So, but the ones that I've made to sell, a lot of them I keep for myself and enjoy, or I give, you know, I've given some away to family and friends. But excuse me, but so the ones that have sold so far, you know, have dictated, I guess. Excuse me, I've noticed what's popular. Sorry for that cough, it was a bit hard, but I think I've got a horrible headache today, and I had it yesterday as well, and I think it's a bit of sinusitis. This morning, I mean, I you know, literally found it hard to get out of bed this morning. I was up very early again. I do get up early, but then sometimes I'll go back to bed, and other times I can't get back to sleep, so there's no point. But this morning I went back to sleep, but yeah, I mean, I had the headache before I went back to sleep, so I know that's not the cause of the headache, put it that way. And then, yeah, I've got a bit of a problem. My sinus is causing me some problems, so it could be that. Sometimes sinusitis can be a bit horrible. And I don't like taking the medications, they're horrible. I don't know if anybody's tried them, but the ones I've tried are horrible. They really make you feel unwell. So you sort of defeats the object, I suppose, you know. But I guess it depends how bad it is. So yeah, I'm not fully okay, but I'm, you know, determined to. I've got a bit of work to do in the house, which I'm avoiding by being in here and doing this today. Yeah. The weather, it's not cold. I am wearing my cardigan just because I felt cold, but it's not cold. I went outside earlier and it isn't cold. But it is overcast and not very, you know, enticing to go outside. Right, I think I'll end off here, and then I need to do another bit. I'm thinking this little bit here is open, so I'm going to just keep pushed, you know, have it put down. I don't know what's wrong with my vocabulary this morning. I'm struggling to speak. Just trying to find the words I need to use. Hope you all had a lovely weekend. I'm curious, do any of you do any sew stitching along with me? I mean, I know we're not doing it at the same time, but, you know, literally, but yeah, I'm curious if any of you are doing any projects doing it along with when you watch my video. I struggle to watch somebody, and so when somebody's doing sew stitch, I tend to watch them doing it rather than do my own. I have done some along with other people, but I like to engage fully when I'm watching something. The other thing that I'll do is if I'm you know, doing some work on my own and it's quiet, is I might put, I've mentioned it before, an Audible book on or something like that, or a podcast, or listen to true crime or something like that. Lately though, I've found them a bit disturbing, and well, they're always disturbing, but oh, I've gone further. I didn't need to go down here, but that's okay. Oh, it's quite nice. It's just you know, in my own little world, chatting to you. Yeah, but it would be interesting to know whether you know, you're working on something, and if you are, is it something that you're following somebody? One of the, you know, ladies who does slow stitch projects for you, you know, for us. Prompts, rather. There we go. Do I need to do any more? I don't think so. I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. Do another one. There we go. All right. So that's nice. I'm happy with that. And then I think I'll do what I said I was going to do. I have got this, but I don't. I like it, but I don't think it's not what I'm looking for. I could use it easily, but it's not. There was a piece that I was thinking about, wasn't there? Where is it? This is very similar, but it isn't the same. It's not from the same quilt. It's from something different, but it's very similar. So I could use a nice little piece of this. I've only have very small pieces left. Obviously it's very much vintage. It's got that vintage sort of pattern on it, as opposed to antique. But then this isn't antique, so I don't think it makes that much difference. But I could do a nice little piece there. I think that would look nice. Or, as I said, I've got that. I've got a little, that's sweet. Could put that somewhere as well. Maybe down here. Yeah, I think I might put that there. So as I say, I'm trying not to cover any more of the original. I just want to work on I've got this little piece of cloth as well. Anyway, I need to make a decision. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, there it is. I was just trying stitches out on here, but I think this goes quite nicely. So should I have it like that or like that? Or I'm inclined for this, you know. I think it's quite sweet looking. And it brightens up the area a bit in a different way. Yep, I'm going to go for that. So I will cut a piece. As I said, I use it very sparingly. Yeah, I like that there, so I'm going to put that there. Now I think I'll stay with the same thread. I'm not going to do any, I'm just stitching it on. I'm not going to be doing any yeah, I'm just going to do exactly what I did just now. and I will go around it. So I'm thinking tomorrow for Mixed Media Wednesday, I'm thinking to do I'll show you how I did the cover of the, well, not so much the cover, but I'll show you the techniques with tissue and acrylic paint. I'll do that tomorrow. If you're interested, then that's great. It's a lovely technique, and I'll probably use different colours because I've used the greens and the blues as a background, and I think I want to do something a bit different. So I have a lot of purples in my garden at the moment, so I might go for something, not a purple background, but some purple flowers. So I'd probably do something a bit different, with the colour, the background colour. Because I felt that teal colour went really well with pink. And I think that was inspired by, I think is it Marabeth or something like that, the lady? I don't know if you looked her up, and I left her details. Yeah, so I loved the technique that she was doing, and I loved her paintings. Very special. Gone a bit wonky here, but I don't mind that. I never mind wonky when I'm doing this. So yeah, so that will be a messy one. It tends to be a bit messy. Now if you haven't got any, so when I get packages, I always keep the tissue paper that they're wrapped in, and so I have a lot of different coloured tissue papers that I've collected over the years. I don't have loads, but I do have a few, and luckily the nice colours that I tend to look out for with their sort of muted colours rather than, but I do have some pale blues and things like that, and greens. But I was going to say, you can buy tissue paper relatively cheap, in packages of different colours. So if you are thinking of having a go and you want to do a very colourful piece of artwork, then, do go and have a look, because I know places like, if you're in the UK, places like The Works and Hobbycraft, they definitely sell tissue papers. The Range is another one that sells packages of tissue paper. And then the other place is TK Maxx. They do tissue papers that are, they do packs of tissue papers that you would use as wrapping. So you could do sort of pattern tissue paper as well. You don't have to just have plain, excuse me. And then of course there's always online, you can, if you can't get out for whatever reason, but you want to pick some up, have some to work with, then I think they're relatively cheap online as well. So it's definitely worth having a look. And again, you don't have to use colour, lots of colour. You can use very muted tones. I'm considering that myself because I do have some beiges and some greys, and I thought I might do some muted colours. Yeah, I like that a lot. That's lovely. Whenever I use this, I'm always pleased with it. It's got so little left. I'll be gutted when it's all used up. But at least it's on I mean, I'm not going to sell anything to do with this. So I will always have a piece of it in my, in my things. I think I've done bits of artwork, I've used it in other journals, I think, that maybe I've sold. I just can't remember exactly. Right, so that's there. Done. So that's done. So that was nice and easy. And as I say, I'm not going to bother doing any stitching on that. I'll just leave it as it is. Right, let's have a look. What next? I quite fancy using some paper. So for me, the paper needs to be a bit flexible. Do have some tea bag here, but I don't like the dark colour. I have some lighter coloured ones. Oh, I've got one here like this. Just wondering whether to put a little pocket on, you know, a tea bag pocket. Not sure, because I don't want to cover that up. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. That's quite sweet. I think I'll just quickly sew that on with a bit of thread that I have. I mean, it does look quite nice on there as well. No, I'll do it directly. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. As you can hear, I've got a frog in my throat and it doesn't clear properly. It's really annoying. Nice bit of vintage crochet. Trying to go through so pins it down a little bit. There you go. Don't mind the edges sticking up a little bit. So I don't think I'll be here for long today, but we'll see. I mean, sometimes these things take time, and you know, my videos are longer than the average, but I've come to accept it. And there's so many things I want to do. I don't know about you guys, but you know, there's just a million different projects that you can be doing, or I can be doing, and I just don't either have the time, or you know, I've started writing them down in a little book. I've got my little book next to me, and I put it next to my bed so that I can I can write things down when they come to me, or if I'm watching YouTube, I can write down if any ideas that I come across, you know, inspiration. So that looks cute. I would have the tea bag on if it was smaller and more delicate. That's just a bit too grungy for me, that one. The other tea bag I do quite like, and I could open it up and use it as a piece of cloth, or just have it as it is. You know, have it sort of open it up and then put it down. But I quite like the idea of doing a different paper. I'm just having a quick look. Got this. Now I don't know if this just take the edges out. I don't know if this will accept being. Oh, that's so pretty. No, just put that down there, down here. Shall we try it? Do you like it? I quite like it. I'm wondering though, it'd be nice if you could see some stitching underneath it, like that. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. Immediately saw that it worked there. Now, I do need a thinner needle for this. I'll see if I've got one. Yeah, that's a bit... No, it isn't. I should have a thin one somewhere. I've got needles just all over the place. I need to sort through them to make sure I know where things are, because this is a really thin needle. So what I might do is just use regular thread. That looks nice, a champagne colour. Let's see what I can find. I don't know if this will go through there, by the way. Yeah, I've got this pretty champagne colour. Try this. There's another dark one. Yeah, I like that you can see quite like that actually. There. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Although I do like that bit of stitching. Maybe it needs to be smaller. There. I love using paper. I should just glue it on, shouldn't I? But I want to stitch it on. It's the point of slow stitch. I haven't ever stitched this on, so I don't know how it will react. I mean, it could just end up... With this, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do lots of stitches on it to keep it in place, because it would just rip. So I'm going to go down here. So I'm going to go off. Oh, I haven't brought you back down, have I? Yeah. Oh, hopefully that's good. It's a bit dark outside, a bit overcast. Just giving you an opportunity to see it better if you couldn't see it before. Well, the needle's going through okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to, what I'll do is I'll do my usual go around, and then I think I'm going to see where to go next once I've done that. Just to pin it, get it pinned down, and then I realised I've gone across there, but that means that isn't tacked down. So again, that's something I can do. Obviously you can't wash it with the sun, but you could, it'll just wash off, which is okay too. You can then use something else to patch it. So, you know, these ephemeral piece, it's or it could be ever changing, you know. You could add more as the different cloths wear, you can change things, and so nothing has to be permanent with anything like this. I will do some more writing as well on here, and maybe I'll do that next week if you guys want to see me do it. If you want to do it, you know, without waiting till next week, my advice when you're stitching words is to do the tiniest of stitches that you can. That way, when you're turning corners, and I think I've said this before, but when you're turning corners, it means that you can get a nice rounded edge by doing tiny stitches. So the small stitch is the way to go, the tiny stitch. That's going to help you turn corners with ease. It's more time consuming and, you know, labor intensive, but it's worth it if you, and what you must remember when you do it, you know, don't have high expectations of what it will look like, because you can, you know, you could practice and practice for quite a long time and still make errors, you know, just because it's hard. It's not an easy thing to do, and I think that over time it would get easier, but you'd still make errors, so don't ever worry about that. You know, oh, I won't be able to do it straight, or I won't be able to, it doesn't matter, it's slow stitch. And the words are more important than the stitching, if you know what I mean. I mean, I like to put bits of poetry on and things like that, things that are meaningful, or you could, you know, you might have your own quote that you particularly, you know, like and admire, and, you know, a different poet, or, you know, quote from a book, or just one of these sort of quotes that you see on social media a lot that you've, you know, has caught your imagination and you relate to quite often. They're very relatable. Doesn't have to be long either. It could be 3 words, you know. I don't want to have this too visible on there. I don't want to spoil the pattern. Yeah, it's fine. So I'm being careful about where I go. I'm going to go down here. I don't want to go over the whole thing, you know, in tiny lines. I want to try and just go through where I think it will help it to stay down. I mean, it could rip, you know. I think because I'm only going through the top layer of fabric underneath, I can do a bit of a I love the gold. I love this paper. I don't know if you've seen me use this paper before. I've got blue and the gold. I'm not sure if you can get other colours, but I'm trying to think of the name of the company. Is it Heaven Hemp? I think that's it, and that's where I get my Locta paper. So if you're interested, that's where I get my papers from. These type of papers, my Locta papers, I mean. So you can see I've made much bigger lines, but it's holding it in place, and it's also, you know, sort of taking on that stitched appearance, which is quite nice and unexpected. I didn't expect that. Okay. I'm going to, just that bit is sticking up, so I'm just going to thread a little bit and just finish it off. Only need a tiny bit. So I'm looking, I don't have any striped fabric. I might use a bit of ticking. Is that a bit obvious? I do like a stripe though. Yeah, it's only this little bit. I mean, I don't really have to do it because it's, yeah, no, I will. I'm going to do it overcast here. I'm not pulling it tight or anything because I suspect it will rip. You could always glue the edges down if you were worried about them fraying, you know, not so much fraying, but you know what I mean. If they catch on anything, you can glue the edges down on here, so it's not, it won't pull it and then rip it. But this is holding them down very nicely. Oops. Okay, I think I might as well go around a bit more. Yeah, you can see. Slow stitch is definitely my favourite thing to do. I mean, it just relaxes me so much. I do end up, I don't know about anyone else, but I do end up with a bit of neck ache. I have terrible eyesight, and although I wear glasses for both long and short sight, I still can't see very well. My eyesight is really bad. You know, it's really, really bad. And so I struggle to see anything. That's lovely. I think that just adds a nice little touch, something a bit different. Yeah, happy with that. And it's not overpowering, it's just a very subtle piece. You know, you look at it and go, oh yeah, what's that? It's sort of shiny. Right. What else? Oh, let's have a look. I'm not going to rip this. But when I see people ripping lace, I just... Yeah, I know it's silly, but I just can't help myself. It's like, oh my God, a sharp intake of breath. I'm like, oh! But I can't do it. I'm sorry. I just can't. No need to apologise, though. You know, I mean me. For being appalled. Right. There's nothing wrong with it. Do you do what you have to do to get the look you're looking for? I just can't do it. You know, I just can't. In fact, weirdly, I like the look, but it's just I just can't rip. Not an antique piece. This is antique. I could potentially rip a piece of vintage and definitely modern. But no, definitely not antique. Right. I think I'm going to put it like that. I'm trying to decide. Still can't decide where I want it. There. Right, so I've changed my thread to a white. Yeah, that's why, but that, no, it's okay, don't worry. Yes, I was going to do an overcast stitch, but I think I'll just carry on doing this. Right on the edge. Quite nice to break up this little bit of pattern, even though it's a tiny square of it. It's still nice to break it up a little bit. I've done it again. I've put it on back to the wrong side, but never mind. It's just going to have to stay like that. So I'll stretch the lace out, I think, a little bit. Sorry, I might have gone out of frame then. So I think this will be the last piece that I'll put on. But I hope, because I even, with these small things, it does take up the time. Just not, it is slow stitch, and I am slow, more slow than the general population of slow stitchers and junk journalers, and I'm slower than everybody. I even eat slowly. I'm always the last one eating. Bizarre. Okay. I'm warming up now. I'm going to take my cardigan off. But I'm liking it. And as I said, I will do some writing if you want me to next week. If I don't, if you don't mention it, then I'll do it anyway when on my own, and I'll show you the progress when I'm on next. but it's just if you wanted to see it done. It's a bit tedious, and there's a lot of moving the cloth around, but well, actually I enjoy it. I mean, it might be tedious to watch is what I mean, because actually I really do enjoy it, but there is a lot of moving the cloth around, because for me anyway, that's how I do it. So I constantly move the cloth around to get a bit like what I'm doing now with this, but more so because yeah, I want it to look right to a certain degree. Oh, such a headache. Yeah, I think it doesn't help when I have my head down like this. Okay, so by the way, I am going to start the pocket, what's it called, Huswif. I'm going to have a go at that, so you're welcome to join me again. I mean, I think I'm going to put something over there. Right, I'm happy with that. I don't need to stitch it all down. Oh, isn't that lovely? I love it. I love the whole piece. Right, I'll pull you back so you can see it. There you go. There we are. Really happy with it. And if I do this, you get to see it like that, which is gorgeous, or like that, which is equally gorgeous. So I can do it upside down. There is no right or wrong way, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm still in that position, but yeah, I might stitch this down, this little bit here. Just quickly stitch it down. Oh, my needle's come off. Okay, I'll leave it here, guys, because I don't want to keep this to go on forever. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to tomorrow doing Mixed Media Wednesday, when I will be doing the tissue and acrylic paints, just to show you. So you can join in if you like. So take care, everybody, and I will be back soon. Bye for now.